shortlisted into this assessment, but I am not able to, crack the assessment itself. The major reason is because there are so many applications given for one single company for one single job post itself. So what I would say is that rather than just focusing on the test cases which is being passed in the assessment questions, also focus on your quality of code, because I myself had 4 times chance for the online assessment in Amazon, and every time I was so much irritated that where it is missing out, where am I going wrong. So that time I got an advice from a senior that even if your test cases are getting passed, there is this behind underlying mechanism which also checks the quality of your code, and it also checks if it is optimized enough. So sometimes hota kya hai, if your solution is brute force, then it passes all the test cases and you move to next round and next question. But there it is not enough. You actually have to write your code in such a way that upon seeing your code, the company realizes that okay, that you are fit for this role and you are fit to enter into the company. And as about talking, if I talk about Amazon, there is this part which is included in online assessment, which is called the skill activity, where you are given an environment, and based on the environment, you are given some situations. So, based on those situations, you are asked to tackle some uh, problems which are given to you. So it will be like, suppose you are SD of this team, and the project manager is telling you that these are the tasks which are to be done, but you are facing some problems from the client side. Then how you might handle it? So Amazon tests your behavior and HR skills in that round itself. So what happens is many of us ignore that and we think that okay, my code part is done, then I will be clearing the online assessment from Amazon. That was also one of the mistake which I did. So I would say that whenever you get a chance from the Amazon for online assessment, please do focus on their leadership principle skills. Their leadership principle skills, if you are really good with them, then you can easily crack that part, because coding part is 60% and rest 40% is that skills part only. And if you are not clearing that properly, then you will not be shortlisted for the interview in Amazon.
Yeah, thank you so much, Amulya. That already clears many students' doubt. So before we move on to the discussion format, a quick note to every member that feel free to share your experience on the LinkedIn and tag CodeNeuraX. So we'll be reposting it, and it will be a great way for you to reflect your seriousness towards your goal and your career. So let's start with something honest. Like when you were beginning for the preparation, so did Amazon really feel like too far or like achievable for you?
Amazon being a man company, obviously it felt too far from me. Even when my interview round was completed, I was quite anxious that what my result will be. I was scrolling the email so many times that when I will get the message, what will be the situation for if my offer will be inclined or declined. So that was the situation. And I have seen people, one more thing, that even if they are good with DSA, दे फील लाइक ओके मुझे अब कोड लिखना आता है तो मुझे प्रॉब्लम नहीं होनी चाहिए किसी भी चीज में. बट द थिंग इज when you go for MCQ round of some companies, you may have seen that they will be giving you some code lines and you are asked to find the error in the lines or to debug it and find the output sometimes. So in real life industry world also, you will be given pre-automated code lines, which is done by some other member, and you have to debug it sometimes. So I would say that if you want to be really industry ready, then please put so much effort in debugging also. Because if you get so much good at debugging, that means तुम्हें उस code में क्या क्या mistakes है वो निकालने आता है. If you are able to find out those mistakes, that means your concepts are very solid, and that will help you to make your DSA much better. So please focus on debugging also along with practicing your DSA.
So did you also face the same situation like that? How did you outsmart that things in front of the interviewer?
In the interview, I was actually asked 2 questions, and rest of the time it was about my projects and fundamentals. But since my projects were strong enough, so most of the questions were revolving around that itself. And what happened about those two questions were that I cannot disclose those actual questions, but I can tell you that one of them was the array question, and another one was regarding the graphs. So what happened is तुम्हें Amazon के टाइम पे questions दे दिए जाएंगे. You will have input cases and constraints and everything, and you have to live code in front of them. And when you code, you have to actually explain each line whatever you are writing down. So once I suppose I completed one solution, then उन्होंने क्या किया, they asked me that is this solution enough, you think, is this optimized enough? So Amazon, Google and Facebook or anything, so whatever company you're going for, until you are giving them the best optimized solution, they won't stop and they will not move to the next question itself. जब तक उन्हें श्योरिटी नहीं आती कि तुम्हारे साइड से यू थिंक दिस इज ऑप्टिमाइज्ड और नॉट, दे विल नॉट जंप टू अनदर क्वेश्चन. एंड सपोज यू आर सेइंग दैट ओके दिस इज द ऑप्टिमाइज्ड सॉल्यूशन, then उसमें भी they will be asking you reasons why do you think this is the optimized solution and how do you think it will handle all the possible edge cases and everything.
So nowadays we are hearing a lot that many students fear that AI tools like ChatGPT are really replacing the developer's job. So as you entering to the Amazon, so how do you see the AI changing the SDE roles?
I would say that the AIML thing has become hype a lot. It is hyped. It is overhyped. उससे डरने की जरूरत नहीं है. The thing is, if you are so much strong in your DSA foundations and the programming fundamentals, so when you enter into companies like Amazon and Google, everybody will have the AI utility. But the thing is that तुम उस बार को कैसे रेस कर रहे हो वो इम्पोर्टेंट होता है. तो अमेजोन में एक बार रेजर एक होता है, तो यू आर सपोज टू रेज योर बार अबव दैट. दैट मीन्स तुम उस परफॉर्मेंस को भी अप सीट कर रहे हो. सो दैट विल ओनली डिटरमाइन योर सिलेक्शन इन अमेजोन. तो उससे होता ये है कि यू शुड नो टू यूज द एआई वेल, but you should not depend on AI. So there is one thing called CDSS. I don't know if how many of you know that, but in short, it is just an AI format tool which is used by doctors for their clinical reports process and everything. So usme it says that doctors use that CDSS system just to enhance their performance, enhance their task, ताकि वो जल्दी से जल्दी reports, tests सबको read कर पाए, analyze कर पाए. तो similarly, SD roles, SWE roles, ये सब में भी you should use AI just as an companion, hamper your ethics system also in the company. So always use AI as an extension in your workflow, not as the only tool in your work.
Yeah. And also right now we hear a lot, right? कि ये वाला कोर्स कर लो, ये सर्टिफिकेट काम आएगा, ये कंपनी में शायद रेज्यूमे में काम आएगा. So do you really think that certifications really actually help, or are they just overrated right now?
Actually, I have even seen my friends putting lot of certifications कि मुझे मैंने hackathon जीता है, नहीं मेरे पास उतना achievements है नहीं, तो मैं certifications ही डाल देता हूँ. मेरा resume अच्छा लगेगा दिखने में. But the thing is that if you put more useless certificates, then your reputation will only go down. So if even if you're trying to put some certifications, make sure that they are professional or important ones only, such as AWS, या फिर तुम्हें किसी proper internship से certifications मिला हो, या फिर तुमने कोई competition जीता तो उसका certification तुम्हें मिला हो. So make sure that only those type of certifications are present in your resume, and resumes, 80% of the space should be covered by your skills, your project, and your achievements only, not with your certifications or extracurriculars or so much. That should be there, but it should not cover most part of the resume.
And right now, if a second year student watching this session, so what their next 6 months should look like? What should be they more focusing on their projects, or making their base strong about the like DSA and DP and everything? What should they right now focus on?
So if you're in second year, I myself started in second year ending only. So I would say the proper roadmap which I followed. So the thing is that recently a student asked me if I should start doing DSA. I have started doing the web development and projects and all, but I have not started the DSA yet. So the thing is, sometimes students feel कि मुझे cloud computing में बहुत interest है, मुझे ऐसे ऐसे field में interest है like cyber security and stuff. But being a fresher, you will not be given that role directly. तुम जब किसी कंपनी में जाओगे, you will be given the role of trainee, SWE, SDE and such. So I would say that have those domains and skills aside in the terms of project. उसको एक domain बना लो. But जब तक you are not solid in DSA, you will not be able to crack any company. Whatever company you go, whatever role you apply for, they will only ask you DSA questions, the programming fundamentals such as computer or networks, DBMS, SQL, and I would say ki also make sure that you are able to communicate properly. Sometimes it happens is that you have so much idea in your head, you know the answer, but you are not able to communicate it to them. तो उस केस में दे विल बी थिंकिंग दैट कि तुम्हें कुछ आता ही नहीं है. तो इट शुड नॉट लुक लाइक यू डोंट नो एनीथिंग. Even if they ask you something, for example they ask me question about system design, but I don't know उसका आंसर क्या है, because I don't know what is system design. मैंने बस थोड़ा बहुत ही पढ़ा है, मुझे उसके बारे में आइडिया है, मैंने सुना है. तो उस केसेस में what you can do is तुम एक लॉजिक बेस्ड आंसर दो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर मुझे उन्होंने एक चैट ऐप कैसे हम बिल्ड करेंगे उसके बारे में उन्होंने मुझसे क्वेश्चन पूछा है, तो सपोज मुझे नहीं पता कि उसको कैसे बनाना है, तो आई विल रिप्लाई विथ द मेट्रिक्स विच कैन बी टेकन इनटू कंसर्न सच एज द सिक्योरिटी, द डेटा हाइप एंड एवरीथिंग. सो उस हिसाब से यू कैन रिप्लाई टू देम. सो इन दैट केस company asks those questions because whenever you enter into a new company, they will not expect you to know how to handle billions of users and everything. But the main thing they see is that how are you handling that ambiguity. जब तुम उस एम्बिगुअस सिचुएशन में होते हो, जब तुम्हें पता नहीं कि ये चीज क्या है, बट फिर भी तुम उस चीज को कैसे हैंडल करते हो, ये कंपनी टेस्ट करती है अपने इंटरव्यूज में. तो मेक श्योर दैट योर आंसर्स आर लॉजिकल. इवन इफ इट्स रॉन्ग, नो प्रॉब्लम. Just give some logical answer, then tell them that I am not well versed with this particular topic, I am diving into it right now. तो उससे क्या होता है कि the reply will be honest and you will not be faking anything, and still you will be giving a logical approach to it. But if you just directly say them that I don't know about this, then it will have a negative impact from your side. And if I talk about DSA, then first of all, the major confusion between students is ki which language I should choose, C++, Python or Java. So as per me, I would say choose either C++ or Java. Maximum Java के साथ जाओ, because मैंने जितना देखा है, most of the companies are using Java. But I myself am a C++ student. So no worries. If you are good with C++, then keep doing C++. Don't switch in between. You will automatically learn Java and every other framework as the moment you switch into that company or field, because you are not expected to be good at only one particular language. जब तुम एक कंपनी में जाओगे, तुम्हें अचानक से स्विफ्ट सीखने बोल देंगे, तुम्हें अचानक से रिडक्स के बारे में जानना होगा, एडब्ल्यूएस के बारे में जानना होगा. सो यू शुड बी ऑलवेज अ क्विक लर्नर, एंड जो भी पढ़ो बहुत डेप्थ में पढ़ो. अभी जैसे मैंने सी प्लस प्लस का कोर्स लिया, तो जब भी तुम एक टॉपिक स्टार्ट करते हो, आई हैव सीन पीपल टू दे डायरेक्टली जंप इनटू कोडिंग सॉल्यूशंस. वैसा तुम्हें नहीं करना है. अभी तुमने एरे उठाया, तो एरे के कॉन्सेप्ट्स को अच्छे से समझ लो, एरे क्या होता है. अभी whenever you are going into a new class, whenever you are starting a new semester, you may have senior teachers asking about the topic itself. सपोज अभी तुम्हारा डीएलडी का सेमेस्टर स्टार्ट हो रहा है, डिजिटल लॉजिक डिजाइन का. Then teachers would be asking the students in the class, anybody knows what is DLD, what does it mean? Why they ask such questions is because jab tak you don't know what you are reading about itself, how you can continue reading about it. So in such a way, पहले जानो डेटा क्या होता है, what is data structures, what is algorithms, why data structures and algorithms are used. फिर एक एक कॉन्सेप्ट पे जाओ and code simultaneously. कोड करने से पहले कोड को समझो, उसका ड्राई रन करो, सूडो कोड लिखो, फिर उसके बाद कोड इंप्लीमेंट करो. अगर तुमसे कोड ना हो, देन ओनली यूज एआई टूल. I know this process is long enough, but unless you are applying this process into your productive timetable, then it will not be productive enough. So I'd say that ऐसे करते करते you can go from basic DSA to advanced DSA. This was my schedule. Every day after the class, I gave time to those particular class revisions. Then 2 hours to DSA. दिन के तुम 2 घंटे या फिर 1 घंटे DSA को दे सकते हो. And on the weekends, focus on your projects and domain side part. जैसे तुम्हारा अभी अगर बैकएंड है या फिर फुल स्टैक है तो उसको तुम वीकेंड्स पे टाइम दे सकते हो. You know that Saturday Sunday most of the time you won't have classes. अगर होगा भी तो Saturday होगा, Sunday नहीं होगा. So you have Sunday whole time. So you can give 2 to 3 hours for the project domain. Then वापस रात को तुम DSA को 1 घंटा दे दो. तो in such a way तुम्हारा CGPA, DSA and the project side everything will be covered. And raha programming fundamentals, I guess that will be getting covered in the semester part itself. In classes itself, you are taught the computer networks, DBMS, and everything. So that will be covered from the semester side. So this is how you should go with the DSA and everything else. And you should also focus on aptitude because sometimes there are some situations where you have to look for the mass hiring companies only, like Infosys and TCS and everything. And whenever they come for your placement season, they only uh, get you to the round two only via aptitude test. So make sure that you give time to your aptitude also. So in this way, you have to prepare for your placement and make sure that your CGPA must not fall below 8.5. If it is above 8.8, then very good, but it should never be below 8.5. Because even if you think that your DSA is so solid, तुम्हें सब कुछ आता है, but अगर तुम्हारा CGPA ही अच्छा नहीं रहा, तो तुम eligible ही नहीं रहोगे apply करने के लिए.
Thank you. To all the members, if you are having any doubts, then you can feel free to drop it in the chat box. We'll be picking that soon. So by that time, open source is like trending right now, right? So does Amazon value it for the interns or not?
You may have also seen that GSOC का application start होने वाला है, I guess. I'm not sure. तो
Yeah.
if you are sometimes what happens is तुम्हें projects का idea आता नहीं है and you don't build good projects. So in such cases, if you are good open source contributors, that means तुम्हें idea है about the real world problems and you have worked with industry skilled people. So in such cases, your resume may stand out and they will hire you or they will select you because you have that experience. Because open source contribution is considered, I would say, sort of internship, but not internship because you are given so much task. You commit the code, push the code, and everything. You have the real work usage over GitHub also. So it makes you a good candidate to get selected for the assessment round for any company. So yes, please go for open source competitions and contributions.
Yeah. Also, we have some questions from the audience side. Yeah, Amulya, you can read that and answer those questions.
Somebody has asked me that I want to likely become AI engineer or data scientist. So for this, in which programming language I want to make DSA? So hello, I started my AI thing from Infosys Springboard. उससे मुझे काफी help मिला था. But if you are not into those stuff, I would say please follow Krishna Nayak. He is the best teacher for AI ML part. You should start with Python first. Once you complete the basic and advanced Python, you will be moving to probability section. Then once you complete the probability, you can go to data analysis, जहाँ पे तुम्हें data visualization, Seaborn, scikit-learn ये सब सीखने को मिलेगा. Then after that, you will be moving to the hypothesis part, जहाँ पे तुम data science apply करोगे, data science के foundations को apply करोगे. You will be learning about later the types of regressions, then clustering techniques and everything. Then at the end, move with the supervised, unsupervised reinforcement, and then LSTM and everything. All this structure is followed by Krishna Xer course. You can find it on YouTube. or Udemy. So that is the best course hackathon. After the round one, my team didn't go further after that. But based on my performance, Amazon mailed me that they are interested to hire. So they asked me to attend their online assessment interview. Then I got the offer. Uh, CGPA matters for internship. CGPA in some companies, yes, it matters for internship. When you go over Unstop, Hacker Earth or any job portal itself, वहाँ पे एक eligibility criteria करके एक section होता होगा. There they will be listing that you should have. I mean, you should be enrolled in a BTech course and you should be from computer science department. तुम्हारा CGPA इतना होना चाहिए. So based on that, you can apply into that internship looking forward. DSA prep is a different thing and interview prep is a different thing altogether. How did you prep for the interview? So regarding the interview, I would say that take the help of your friends. If your friends are not good enough to help you, then I would say that have a mirror in front of you or just open a camera and you may find so many interview questions around. तो उस interview questions को तुम एक बार पढ़ लो, फिर अपने आप को तुम record करो. See that how you are explaining and how you are answering those questions and note it down that तुम कहाँ गलत जा रहे हो. Once you are noting down all those points, ask GPT. I would say don't depend on GPT because it will give you the same answer for everybody and it will not make you stand out itself. So I would say that always ask a senior who has already gone through the placement. They will help you कि तुम्हें किस टाइप से इस क्वेश्चन को आंसर करना चाहिए. अगर वैसे सीनियर फिर भी नहीं है, देन तुम जीपीटी का हेल्प ले सकते हो या फिर किसी सीनियर को लिंक्डइन पे रीच आउट कर सकते हो. And whenever you answer any question, make sure that it is in star method. Star method, it basically talks about S is situation and T is task, if I'm not wrong, and A stands for action and R is the result. I will give you the example for that. अभी जैसे in Amazon they asked me about my project which is Insta Aid. तो मैंने उससे star method use करके answer किया था. तो star method में how I answered is first I am explaining the situation, why I made the project, what was the problem. तो मैंने उन्हें explain किया कि emergency situations में people are just panicking and they don't know what to do. Many of them know कि CPR ये होता है, snake burn पे snake bite पे ये करना पड़ता है, but they don't have any idea कि उसे करते कैसे हैं. So Insta Aid has first aid procedures and based on users real time location, it lets you map down the hospitals near you in terms of radius such as in kilometers. तो अगर 2 kilometers के अंदर I have this type of hospital near me, so based on the type of hospitals, you can have the hospitals list as an outcome. And when I click a particular hospital, it will navigate me directly to the Google map. तो इससे होगा क्या कि मुझे पता चल जाएगा कि इस चीज के लिए मुझे इस हॉस्पिटल पे जाना होगा. And since this is much close enough for me and it is easily navigable for me, because Google Maps पे भी तुम्हें फाइंड करना पड़ता है हॉस्पिटल्स नियर मी एंड उसमें यू आर गेटिंग सो मच कंफ्यूज्ड कि मुझे इसमें से कौन से हॉस्पिटल्स में जाना चाहिए. तो in such cases this app will help you and it also had medical chatbot section. For example, if I am a new mother and I have a child and my child is simultaneously getting fever, then in such cases new mothers को आइडिया नहीं होता है कि उन्हें डॉक्टर के पास कब जाना चाहिए. And many of them would be telling them कि ये रेमेडी अप्लाई करो, ये करो, ठीक हो जाएगा. तो in that cases if you ask that chatbot, it will tell you that if the remedy is safe enough to apply or not and when you should seek to the doctor. And all this can be shared over various social media platforms. So this was my project and this is how I told them. And उसके बाद मैंने बताया था कि मैंने ये challenges face किए थे, तो उसके challenges को मैंने how did I overcome those challenges. So in such a way you should answer your questions. Follow the STAR method. Learn about leadership principles for Amazon. So this is how you have to prepare for the interview.
Yes, well, you can ask your question.
I don't have the YouTube channel, Jagdish. Sorry.
Hi ma'am,
Hello.
आई हैव अ क्वेश्चन कि मैं पाइथन में बैकएंड डेवलपमेंट में जैसे फ्लास्क है, मैं उसका लॉजिक सीख रहा हूँ, कैसे पेज बनाना, रूट है, ये सब कुछ. और जब डीएसए की बारी आती है तो मैडम वो कंफ्यूजन हो जाता है लॉजिक में. इसका अलग होता है और पाइथन वाला भी थोड़ा अलग होता है. डीएसए में सी प्लस प्लस में कर रहा हूँ, तो हाउ कैन आई मैनेज दिस?
So in such cases, what happens is जब तुम दो चीज को एक साथ सीख रहे होगे तो वो बहुत ज्यादा कंफ्यूजन क्रिएट करेगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ आई एम स्टार्टिंग माई बैक एंड स्टडी फॉर दी पाइथन एंड देन इफ आई एम स्विचिंग टू C++, then I will be getting confused. Sometimes मेरे दिमाग में C++ के keywords and stuff आ रहे होंगे whenever I am studying the Python thing. So इसलिए for that thing I would say have a huge time gap. Never learn web development part, I mean your domain part and the DSA part at the same time. उससे तुम्हें कुछ भी सीखने को नहीं मिलेगा, उल्टा और ज्यादा कंफ्यूजन क्रिएट होगा. सो ऑलवेज हैव अ टाइम गैप. एंड रही बात लॉजिक की, तो लॉजिक कैन बी ओनली बिल्ट व्हेन योर माइंड हैज दैट थिंकिंग कैपेसिटी. तो वो थिंकिंग कैपेसिटी कैसे आएगी? वो प्रैक्टिस के साथ ही आएगी. तो व्हाट यू हैव टू डू इज, अभी तुम्हारे पास एक कोडिंग प्रॉब्लम है. कोडिंग प्रॉब्लम को पढ़ते ही यू शुड थिंक कि मुझे ये क्वेश्चन जो दिया गया है वो मुझे समझ आ रहा है कि नहीं. अगर समझ आ रहा है देन ओके, तुम लिख दो अपने हिंदी में या फिर इंग्लिश में, राइट इट डाउन व्हाट द क्वेश्चन मीन्स. वंस यू राइट इट डाउन, कंस्ट्रेंट्स दिए रहते हैं वहां पे, इनपुट केसेस दिए रहते हैं, एंड दे ऑल्सो राइट डाउन व्हाट इज द एक्सपेक्टेड आउटपुट, उसको भी लिख दो. सो व्हेन यू नोट इट डाउन योर ब्रेन स्टार्ट्स टू प्रोसेस इट. सो उसके बाद यू कैन स्टार्ट राइटिंग द सॉल्यूशन इनटू सूडो कोड फॉर्म. तो सूडो कोड फॉर्म में जब तुम सॉल्यूशन लिखना स्टार्ट करोगे यू विल हैव एन आइडिया कि ठीक है मुझे ऐसे ऐसे करना है. बट उसके बाद भी कभी कभी क्या होता है, पीपल से दैट आई हैव द लॉजिक इन माय हेड बट मुझे कोड कैसे करना है, स्टार्ट कैसे करना है, मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा. तो उसके लिए तुम्हें प्रैक्टिस ही करना होगा. तो वंस यू हैव कंप्लीटेड राइटिंग डाउन दी सूडो कोड, एक एक लाइन को वैलिड कोड में उसको कन्वर्ट करते जाओ. तो जैसे ही तुम उसको वैलिड कोड में कन्वर्ट करते जाओगे तुम्हें तुम्हारा सोल्यूशन मिल जाएगा. एंड समटाइम्स तुम्हें एरर मिलेगा या फिर कहीं पे कुछ रह जाएगा. इन सच केसेस डीबग योर कोड. देखो कि किस कोड की लाइन में क्या गलती हो गई, तुमने यहाँ ये क्यों डाला जबकि ये डालना चाहिए था. तो इन सच वे इफ यू थिंक, राइट डाउन एंड सॉल्व ईच क्वेश्चन इन डेप्थ विथ ईज, देन तुम्हारा लॉजिक बिल्डिंग अच्छे से हो जाएगा एंड यू विल बी एबल टू सॉल्व एनी कोडिंग क्वेश्चन. इट टेक्स टाइम एंड डेडिकेट दैट टाइम.
ओके मैडम, डीएसए का समझ में आ गया किस तरह से करना है. गैप रखना आपने बोला, मतलब वो थोड़ा और क्लियर कीजिए.
अभी जैसे मैं डीएसए सुबह पढ़ रही हूँ, तो सपोज मैं सुबह 8 से 11 बजे तक मैंने डीएसए पढ़ा. तो जस्ट 11 बजे के बाद तुम्हें पाइथन को लाइक पढ़ना स्टार्ट नहीं करना है, उससे तुम्हारा दिमाग बहुत कंफ्यूज हो जाएगा. तो उस केस में तुम्हें क्या करना चाहिए, दैट मॉर्निंग सेशन डीएसए के लिए रख लो और रात का सेशन पाइथन के लिए रख लो. सो इन सच वे तुम्हारे दिमाग को भी रिलैक्स करने का टाइम मिलेगा. और वो एक साथ अगर तुम बहुत चीज पढ़ते हो तो तुम्हें कंफ्यूजन होता है ना, तो वही मैंने बताया दैट हैव अ टाइम गैप. किसी भी हेवी कॉन्सेप्ट को अगर तुम पढ़ रहे हो तो ऑलवेज हैव अ टाइम गैप बिटवीन दोस टू डिफरेंट कॉन्सेप्ट्स. इससे यू विल बी एबल टू फोकस ऑन वन पर्टिकुलर कॉन्सेप्ट वेरी वेल, एंड उससे तुम्हारा कंसिस्टेंसी भी अच्छे से बढ़ जाएगा. बिकॉज समटाइम्स होता क्या है दैट इफ आई एम रीडिंग समथिंग एंड अगर वो मुझे बार बार पढ़ने में भी समझ नहीं आएगा तो मैं इरिटेट हो जाऊंगी एंड आई विल नॉट बी liking to study it again. So that's why it's very important that you have a particular time gap between two subjects which are very complex for you.
ओके मैम, थैंक यू.
Ma'am, to become a engineer or data analyst or data scientist, in which programming language I want to make DSA, ma'am?
Uh, I would say that being a data scientist and having DSA is a different part, but you can go with Python for DSA also. But in terms of DSA, some companies don't want Python for the DSA. They want C++ and Java only. So you can have your data scientist part as a domain, and for DSA you can go with C++ or Java. Even if you are going with Python, no issue. But most of the companies, when you are applying for their job role, they will be asking you to have C++ or Java only. For Python, they will be asking you for very minimal roles, which are domain based like data scientist and data analyst. And data scientist and data analyst, you will not be getting those roles once you enter into the company itself. For example, in Amazon, I got central machine learning department because I am good with AI/ML. So in such cases, companies will offer you a particular department and a role where data science or machine learning will be involved indirectly. Then once you are good with your work, then they will be switching you into that department. So this is how people convert into a data analyst and data scientist. So अगर तुम For example, if you're going into Amazon, you may have seen that Amazon ML summer school, right? People go into that because they want to be ML scientist. So they start with research field. They go for being an ML scientist. Then once they are starting with the applied ML scientist role, they then switch to data scientist and everything. So in such a way, the role evolves in company. It always starts with the basic SDE and SWE only.
For A engineer also it is helpful, ma'am, for DSA.
Whatever role it might be, in order to get into any company, you need DSA only. At the start itself, they will not hire you for AI engineer or data scientist. They will hire you for normal roles like SDE and SWE only. So yes, DSA is very important. It is 100% important. Even if you don't like it, you can't leave it.
So I want to focus on C++, ma'am.
Uh, you can do one thing. Today, you just see what C++ does. For example, take any YouTube channel, open C++ basics, and see if you are liking the C++ concept. And after a few minutes, open Java and see if you are liking the Java lecture more. So whichever lecture you are liking more, that means that is the particular language for you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
So another question is from if a first year student were to start after completing only the C language, if I don't know anything, then if you're a first year student, you have so much time, you are getting serious now itself. Congratulations. I was not even serious. So I would say that before jumping into any language, please explore those languages, that whether you are liking that language or not, because with that language only you are going to give so many assessments and interviews, because it is not easy to get into any company just by single assessment. If you are very lucky, if you are very hardworking, then yes, you might go. So first explore what language you need, then go with that language for your DSA, start your DSA. Then once you are quite okay with the DSA, start your development or any other part as your domain, start building projects, start making your resume. Because once you start making your resume, you will slowly learn that how to make that perfect ATS friendly resume. So Shyam has asked, how do you approach a DSA question from scratch? What is your thinking process before writing code? So I feel I have answered this question before, if I'm not wrong. You have to analyze the question, then go for your simple language in your mother tongue, pseudocode, then write down the code. And when you get stuck and can't crack the logic, how do you handle it without getting frustrated or wasting time? Debug those solutions and see where you are going wrong. Even if feel DSA that feel like DSA is the girl or boy you like, and you're trying your best to get it. So what you have to do is that you will be feeling so much irritated and frustrated a lot, but you should not give up. You should never give up. You have to challenge that DSA that okay, I will tell you what I can do. So solve in such a way. And how do you learn from being stuck so that same mistake doesn't repeat? If you are sincere enough and if you have analyzed a particular solution in depth, I don't think the same mistake will be repeated. Mistake is something which is happening again and again. It's not a mistake if it's happening for the first or second time. So yes, note it down. And in Amazon also, I had this meeting with my upcoming interns and teammates, and Amazon, Google values documenting a lot. So I would say that have that habit from now itself. Start making notes. Without notes and without reports, your company journey will not be good. So yes, document all the solutions. Document where you went wrong. Document how you approach that solution to make it right. So in such a way, you will not get stuck and you will not repeat that mistake, because whenever you write down something, that gets stuck in your head very well rather than just seeing the solution. What are the most common mistakes you see beginners make in DSA that I should strictly avoid? Copy pasting the solutions and just if they are not able to solve, they just take some AI help or they just go over the internet common solutions. So usse तुम्हारा thinking mindset, it will not develop well and you will not be able to think properly. So whenever a new question comes in front of you, you will go blank. You will have no idea how to start. So never do this thing. Never take any tool help unless you have fried your brain. Because even in cooking, when you are frying the food well, then only it gets delicious and it smells well. But don't over fry it or else it will burn. So another student has asked, I'm a student currently studying in BTech first year. I have heard and got to know the importance of LinkedIn profile for internship and placement. So could you help us on how we get started on LinkedIn? So if you see my LinkedIn account, there will be so much post, and even my teachers have asked that whenever I open my LinkedIn account, I am seeing your post only all the time. Why is it so? So the thing is that the way you maintain your resume and project section, in resume also you will be mentioning your LinkedIn near the header part. Why you are mentioning your resume? Because it shows that how much work you have done. अभी तुम्हें पता होगा कि तुमने क्या क्या पढ़ा है, but the other person will not know how much you have studied. Even if you just tell them that I have did this project, I have learned this much DSA, I have practiced these many programming languages, they will be like, okay, you may have done, but you don't have any proof. So LinkedIn provides you the platform to have your proof, just like GitHub. So always maintain your GitHub and LinkedIn profile. Be very professional. Don't use too much slang words, and think of LinkedIn just like making reports of every work you have did. So even if you start a challenge, for example, I told you that I started this 30 days projects challenge. So why I did that is because sometimes when you start a challenge saying on LinkedIn that I am starting this particular challenge, and if you not do it, your ego will get hurt. So that LinkedIn helps you to just continue with that. So that's why you have to be active on LinkedIn. It builds your profile professionally. It provides proof to the HRs and the recruiters to hire you well, and it provides a solid background about you also, because just resume will not tell everything. Your GitHub profile, your leak code, your code force, or I would say your LinkedIn is very important to be maintained. Can you tell me how to manage time for DSA and development? I have already answered the question, Prashant. Which is the best YouTube channel or learning platform for DSA? So for the DSA, I used PW Skills. It is quite costly, just like any other course, but it is a good platform. It was good platform for me. So I would recommend either go for PW Skills or Udemy or Shraddha Kapra. For getting Amazon job, only one language is sufficient. Yes, one language is sufficient for the DSA part, but your project should be very, very solid and very unique. So whatever project you make sure that they are real world applicable and very unique. Don't make projects like clones or any other project like weather forecast or normal chatbot, which is done by everybody. Make projects which are setting you apart, because your project section is the part in the resume which will make your resume so much hype, and it will make your resume stand out. So what companies do is that when they see a resume, if they feel that resume is very good, then they will put that resume in their top performers list. So once you get into that top performers list, then only you will be shortlisted for assessment. If by seeing your resume itself they feel that it's not good, they will not even read what it is, they will just cross it out. Think of ATS resume just like the Tinder platform. You will just left swipe and right swipe. I am using very much informal languages just to make you understand well. I'm sorry about that. So if you have doubt that if my resume is good or not, so think of yourself as an HR. You're opening your resume in your laptop and think, देखने के बाद you should feel that मेरा resume मुझे ही देखने में अच्छा लग रहा है या नहीं. If you are itself not liking it, then please go and fix it. That means अगर तुम्हें ही पसंद नहीं आ रहा है तो किसी और को क्या ही पसंद आएगा. So in such a way you should build your resume and make sure that it is ATS friendly. ATS friendly होने का मतलब है कि whenever you are given a job post, तुम उस job post में तुम्हें कुछ skills चाहिए होते हैं. They will be mentioning some skills, some requirements. So make sure that based on those requirements and skills, your resume is customized and tailored. So matlab whenever ATS is checking your resume, it will only search for those particular keywords. So इसलिए उस हिसाब से तुम्हें उस resume को customize करना होता है job post पे apply करने से पहले. CP is mandatory for getting internship at Amazon. No, it is not mandatory, but it has been so much active among people a lot. So I would say if you're going for CP, then very well you can go for it. That means your code forces profile will be building very well. That means you are very good coder. You will be a goat. So yes, go for CP if you are interested, but it can only be possible if your basic DSA is very much strong enough. So keep practicing, and I hope that you become a very good competitive programmer. Shreya says, I have completed the Python, C++, and currently learning the R language. I'm not interested in exploring machine learning. First of all, congratulations, Shreya, for completing these many languages. That means you are so much dedicated enough. See, don't mind what others are saying. तुम्हें जिस चीज में इंटरेस्ट आ रहा है तुम वही करो, because sometimes what happens is you start comparing yourself to people a lot and you start hearing so many things from so many people that this is trending, you should do this, why are you even doing this thing? So I would say that never follow that, because at a point you will be hearing that people, but when you change the place you will be hearing some other guy or girl. So I would say that that loop will never end. So never be influenced by anyone in a bad way, and do what you want, do what you're interested into, put your whole time into it, because whatever you learn, it never go for waste. It will always be productive and it will always help you in future.
Yes, Siddhant, you can ask your question.
यस मैम। मैम मैं भी अभी फर्स्ट ईयर में हूँ एंड जैसे मुझे पता है लिंक्डइन पे क्या करना है, पोस्ट करना है, सर्टिफिकेट्स लाइसेंसेस ऐड करने हैं और वो कब काम आएगा, वैसे मुझे गिटहब का कुछ आइडिया नहीं है और ना ही आइडिया आ रहा है उसमें रिपोजिटरीज ऐड करनी है, क्या करना है, प्रोजेक्ट्स डालने क्या करना है। तो गिटहब को मैं यूज कब करूँ और उसका मेरी रेज्यूमे में और उस सब में हेल्प कैसे होगी, वो समझ नहीं आ रहा मुझे।
तो गिटहब में होता क्या है कि जब हम प्रोजेक्ट्स को बनाते हैं, हम प्रोजेक्ट्स को एक रिपोजिटरी का नाम देके उस प्रोजेक्ट को गिटहब पे पुश करते हैं। तो मतलब तुम्हारा प्रोजेक्ट जो है वहां पे स्टोर हो जाएगा। थिंक ऑफ गिटहब एज अ बैंक ऑफ सॉफ्टवेयर साइड। सो वहां पे जाके तुम्हारे सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स, तुमने जो भी काम किए हैं वो सब वहां पे स्टोर हो जाते हैं। तो दैट यू स्टोर इट इन द फॉर्म ऑफ ए रिपोजिटरी। तो उससे क्या होता है कि जब when you store that project in the GitHub, people can either use that project or they can modify that project for their own work. And similarly, you will get recommendations from good people if somebody has seen your GitHub profile, and also you will be getting good recognition also. So in such a way GitHub helps. And if you want to learn GitHub, you can learn it on any YouTube channel. You just have to be good with the command line prompts and everything for GitHub. उसमें कुछ कमांड्स होते हैं, वो सब तुम्हें सीखना होता है, किस कमांड का क्या यूसेज होता है, उसे कैसे यूज करते हैं विंडोज पे या फिर मैक ओएस पे, वो सब तुम्हें सीखना आना होता है। And it is very simple. I would say that GitHub you can learn in 2 to 3 days itself. So go for it. And even if you don't have so much projects, you can also put your coding challenges there. I also did the same thing when I didn't have much projects to put on the GitHub. That was not looking too much green and all. So I started putting my coding solutions there. So that also you can do.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. A small rapid round fire will do. So one habit that really changed everything.
So one habit that really changed everything is that I started being consistent. I was being very lazy enough, especially in the afternoon, but I motivated myself to stay consistent at least for 2 to 3 days continuously.
One resource that you can swear by.
One resource that I can swear by is PW Skills. It is mehenga, it is costly, but it is worth it. It was worth it for me.
Yeah. And one mistake that students should avoid right now.
The mistake which students should avoid right now is that not starting DSA early, because sometimes people feel that अभी मेरे पास 2 साल है या फिर 3 साल है हो जाएगा, but DSA actually takes to just learn itself at least 8 to 9 months, and उससे practice करते करते तुम्हें 1 साल हो ही जाएगा। तो I would say that if you are having so much time, then please start today itself, क्योंकि तुम जितना जल्दी स्टार्ट करोगे तुम्हारे लिए उतना ही आसान होगा। So for me, if I had started a bit early, then I feel that I would have done much more better.
Yeah. One skill beyond coding for every SDE need.
one skill beyond coding is that please have a good knowledge about what is happening in the current trends of technology. किस कंपनी में क्या हो रहा है, रिपोर्ट्स को पढ़ो and read the updates also which is given on the tech paper reviews, read the tech articles, have a good knowledge about it, be updated. That is also very necessary, and be practice your soft skills also, because people don't focus on it. And Amazon interview mein, the interviewer itself said me one thing. She said that you wrote the code down, but you also explain each line of code. You didn't stop. So that shows that you know what you are writing down. But others didn't explain their line of code. They just wrote the code and they just went away. So that was the thing which set me apart among other peers who were giving interview that day. So yes, please focus on your soft skills also.
Okay, so now you can continue with the question answers from the other members. And also a real quick note to all the participants again that you can share this experience on the LinkedIn and tag CodeNeuraX. Will be reposting you, and it will be a good chance for you to showcase your experiences, what you had been seeing till now. Yeah, okay.
Uh, So one question is, if I don't know any project ideas, what can I do? Where to do projects from scratch? So I have already posted this on LinkedIn, but since most of you wants to know this, so I will say that whenever you are seeing any movie, or whenever you are having in your day to day life itself, बहुत बार तुम्हारे दिमाग में questions आता होगा कि काश ये चीज ऐसी होती, even if it's very much small, but that particular thing, if you make it as a project, then it sometimes has huge impact. So it's not important that your project is so much big, so much major project. It's okay that if you are working on very minimal feature. And for example, I will give you ideas about my project. So when I was a kid, my mom told that I was very curious, and I used to irritate her a lot by asking questions ki ye kya hai, wo kya hai. So with help of that idea in my mind, I made a CV based project where, based on the image recognition and everything, the model will provide the children's facts about it. So it will be a good interactive learning platform as well. And another idea is that many of you have been Harry Potter fans, and many of you would be knowing Dumbledore as well. So Dumbledore was a good advisor to Harry Potter. So keeping Dumbledore in my mind, I made Dumbledore advisor. So it was like a mental health companion. So whatever questions I asked, or whatever, uh, for example, what type of day I had, these people did this thing to me, I felt bad, I was happy. So in such cases, if I share those particular feelings to that bot, it will respond well, and it will be talking like a proper human. So that was another project. And InstaAid I discussed already. It was also based on the health sector, which was real life focused. And in such a way, you should notice the tiniest things around you. Be a good observer. And the moment you get that idea in your head, please note it down, because sometimes तुम उसे भूल जाओगे. You will not have that in mind later. So in such a way, you can build projects. And even if you don't have any project idea, then I would say that search on GitHub, and go over YouTube channel. Sometimes क्लोन होता है, sometimes कोई already existing website होते हैं, तो उसमें ही तुम कुछ additional feature as an extension add कर सकते हो. That also can be a project. And another question is, as you have mentioned earlier, the importance of optimization of code and optimizing. Can you please give a more in-depth knowledge on that? So by optimization, I mean the time and space complexity of a code. So you may have learned about big O notations. So big O notations, it's all about the, for example, like big O of n square, n log n and all. So uske bare mein, once you read it down, you will know that each time and space complexities tells you how much space and how much memory that particular chunk of code is taking, how much time that code is taking to get executed. Why people focus on optimization is that, because sometimes, okay, simple question. Whenever you are given a problem statement, why do you not solve everything using if else conditions or for loop and while loop? because sometimes it takes so much time to execute that particular problem. And for that, there are particular methods. There are methods like hash maps and everything, which makes the execution faster. उससे तुम्हारा time बचता है, उससे speed increase होता है, and you get faster results covering all the test cases. That's why it is said that you should focus on optimizing your code. So that's why optimization is very important, and you will get to know once you study the time and space complexity part. How to manage time of DSA development? I have already answered. You can have either morning session for DSA and night session for development, or based on your time slot, choose a particular time slot which lets you focus very well. Even for 1 hour or 2 hour per day is far enough for DSA. And if you do it regularly, then I am sure that you can complete the DSA very well, thoroughly. Don't rush to complete DSA. Make sure that whatever you are reading, whatever you are learning, you don't have to learn it again. Varna, it will be a waste of time. That means you are just completing the syllabus like a teacher who is not interested in teaching. So don't be that teacher. Is it late if I start practicing proper DSA at 4th sem? No, it's never late. If you are consistent, then I'm sure you can do it. Most of my friends started DSA in 4th year also, but they are sitting in IBM and all. So it was only because they practiced a lot. They had that fear. उन्होंने उस fear को practice में डाल दिया. So yes, if you are starting today also, not issue, but be very consistent with it. What's important to get good command at DSA? Important patterns or quantity of question? No, quantity of question is not important. The patterns are important. अभी जैसे अगर तुम Amazon में जाओगे, they focus on complexity. अगर तुम Meta में जाओगे, they focus on data manipulation. तो उस हिसाब से हर एक क्वेश्चन का पैटर्न होता है. Whenever you see lead code, नीचे उन्होंने कंपनीज मेंशन किए होंगे कि इस क्वेश्चन को इस कंपनी ने बहुत बार पूछा था. So that means that particular pattern is followed by that particular company. So in such a way, there are so many patterns in DSA which covers hash map, DP, greedy algorithm, knapsack problem and all. So based on that pattern, cover all those patterns. So patterns मतलब अभी जैसे कि तुम अगर लीनियर अलजेब्रा पढ़ते हो तो एक टाइप का सॉल्यूशन होता है. तो once you are solving that solution, the same problem might come again, just the keywords and metrics are changed. You get the idea that okay, I have solved similar question before also using that solution. So उससे तुम्हारे ब्रेन को पता चलता है कि मुझे अब वैसे ही इसको भी सॉल्व करना है. So that is only patterns in DSA. The better you are with the patterns in DSA, the more better you will be solving the DSA problems. So don't focus on the quantity of problems, focus on patterns in DSA. If any problem for coping others project and you learn both language Java and C++, which is best? I am learning Python from Code with Harry. How you suggest me to first complete C++ or Java after completing Python first? So I would say that it's good you took Python, no issue. You can go with C++ or Java once you complete Python by using or by taking any choice of your course. So start with the basics, as I said before also. So Python में तुमने पढ़ा होगा loops क्या है, condition statements क्या है, keywords क्या है. This is the same thing follows in every language at the start. There are just minimal changes and differences which happens in every languages along with the syntax. That's all. And there are some additional features like garbage collectors in Java, लेकिन C++ में नहीं होते. तो उसी टाइप में हर लैंग्वेज में बस थोड़े थोड़े डिफरेंस होते हैं. तो वो बस तुम्हें सीखना होता है और उसके सिंटैक्सेस पे तुम्हें अच्छी खासी प्रैक्टिस करनी होती है. So you can start in that way, and you can start either with C++ or Java after Python. And even if you don't have the time for C++ or Java, then you can make your Python itself solid. Do certificates really help to get internship or job on LinkedIn? More than certificates, I would say your projects and the work you have done, which you have posted on LinkedIn, will help you much better than certificates, because certificates आजकल सबके पास होते हैं, but your projects and everything will only set you apart. For example, I even tried to make based on Alexa doesn't have so many features, right? So based on that thinking, I made a new project which was named Alexis, and it was able to do some of the things which Alexa was not able to do. So in such way, you can make your projects and publish your work, your practice sessions, your coding solutions, that I solved these particular problems this week. So yes, you can do that. LinkedIn profile will only help you with very minimal, minimal percentage value for the hiring and recruiting part. सबसे ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंस जो होता है वो तुम्हारा डीएसए रेज्यूमे और प्रोजेक्ट्स ही होता है. LinkedIn, GitHub and the profiles is just side dish type. It will help you to boost your profile more. It will not be the only thing which will help your profile grow. I'm getting stuck at why, how, what question in Viva. I'm having fear might happen same in job interview. So if I learn a topic, how can I prepare to the code? So whenever you are learning a topic, uh, I would say that note it down, write notes. For example, when we were in 10th standard, we used to write everything down in a notebook and we used to show it to our teachers, and we used to read the same thing from our notebook itself. Then only our doubts would be getting cleared, which was confused, which was like which would create a confusion in the NCRT or some book. That's why it is recommended that you should have notes, handwritten notes. So whenever you have handwritten notes, obviously you will get doubt at some point that why this thing is happening, how this thing happened. I will give you an example. You may all have learned logistic regression. बट लॉजिस्टिक रिग्रेशन इज अ बाइनरी क्लासिफिकेशन टेक्निक. अगर वो रिग्रेशन है तो उसे बाइनरी क्लासिफिकेशन में क्यों मेंशन किया जाता है? तो उस हिसाब से यू हैव टू मेक योर नोट्स डाउन. For that, there is a solution. Why is it considered in classification technique? Because when you go for example, the passing average, that if I get 5 then it is pass, if I get 4 then it is fail. So you will be making a best fit line, right? But linear regression में क्या होता है? Even if I add an outlier, for example, अगर मैंने 12 ऐड कर दिया उस लिस्ट में, तो वो बेस्ट फिट लाइन जो है वो थोड़ा स्लैंट हो जाता है. तो उसके स्लैंट होने से क्या होगा? 5 मार्क्स पे जो पास हो रहा था, अब वो 5 मार्क्स पे फेल हो जाएगा. इसलिए लीनियर रिग्रेशन को हम बाइनरी क्लासिफिकेशन में उतने सही से इन्वॉल्व नहीं करते हैं, इसलिए हमें लॉजिस्टिक रिग्रेशन की जरूरत पड़ती है. सो इन सिमिलरली यू हैव टू लर्न एवरी कॉन्सेप्ट दैट व्हाई दिस थिंग इज वर्किंग, व्हाई डिड आई रिप्लेस दिस थिंग विद दिस थिंग. सिमिलरली केमिस्ट्री में भी हमने बहुत सारे मॉडल्स को पढ़ा होगा, तो हर एक मॉडल के बाद एक नया मॉडल आता गया था. क्यों आता गया था? बिकॉज देयर वाज सम डिफेक्ट इन द प्रीवियस मॉडल. So similarly, you have to learn the CS fundamentals, code, everything in such a way only. Always have the why, how, what reasoning in your head. So if you have that reasoning in your head from before itself, तो तुम्हें कभी कभी लगता होगा अरे ये तो मैंने पहले भी सोचा था, I had this thing in my mind. So you will have that solution clicked in your head at that moment itself. I learned Python language. It is sufficient for getting the job in Amazon of DSA, or we have to learn the other language? I am present second year. I am telling as per my experience only. I applied to so many companies and most of them asked either Java, C++ only. Very few of them asked the Python role, and they so I would say that yes, you can go with Python, no issue, but most of the companies ask for C++ and Java only. Even if you don't trust me, you can see some YouTube shorts. There are also people who would be telling you to choose between C++ and Java only, because Python is something which can't handle so many complex things. And उस companies में जाने के लिए complex things को handle करने के लिए तुम्हें C++, Java जैसे languages को ही आना चाहिए. So I would suggest please go for C++ or Java. As a first student, I started with web development and recently finished the front end. Should I continue till the full stack or switch to DSA first and then full stack web development? See, the backend part, it depends on your interest only that you want to do or not. But I would recommend that give the highest priority to DSA to everybody. Please give the highest priority to DSA only. If you have time, you can go for front end, back end, full stack, ML domain, cyber security, anything. That is your wish. Your domain is your part. It's like a special hobby in the software side. But DSA is mandatory, which cannot be avoided at any circumstances.
So, ma'am, where do you see this SD internship heading in the next 2 to 3 years? And what kind of engineers will Amazon need more of in the future?
I am just going into Amazon, but I think that the type of SDEs they will hire is who are able to think far beyond than AI solutions, because some of you may have gotten the news that some of the companies are including this thing where they can detect if the code is AI generated or not, or if the solution is present on the internet or not. So in such cases, your code should be unique, and you should be very much well with the concepts that whatever question they ask you, you have a solution for it. So even if you don't have a solution, you know how to handle that solution. So that only company seeks in every candidate. Even if they don't have idea about that particular sector, they have that much minimum knowledge and skill that they are able to answer it accordingly, and they are able to at least tell you that this can be done to handle this particular problem to get this particular outcome. So उस हिसाब से you have to train your brain well. All time I have one fear of like I am late. How do I overcome this? So if you have this fear, I would say that I think it is called procrastinating. So start acting upon it. In such a way your fear will go away, because that means your brain is trying to control you, but you are not able to control your brain. That is the problem here. So whenever you are getting that thought in your head, get up and start doing your activity, start doing your work, start studying. So the moment you start studying, that thought from your head will vanish away. And if you start following your routine daily, that thought will stop appearing itself in your head. It will disappear naturally. So whenever you are so much good with something, when you have so much practice, then there will be no fear. You will always have confidence within yourself only with so much practice. So whenever you are having procrastination or fear, start acting upon it. Nothing else is the solution to it. And people like seniors or somebody, anybody can be like motivating you today, tomorrow, but they will not be always present to motivate you every single day. You are the only person who can motivate you, like who can make you work upon that. So you can either have some sticky notes in front of you. For me, I had this thing that 15 lakh ke niche nahi jana hai. I had that particular chart note in front of me. So by seeing that, I was able to motivate myself. So yes, start acting upon it. I'm sure that your fear will go away and you will do well. DSA with web development or system design. See, as a fresher, they will not expect you to be so much good with system design, because more than LLD, which is called low level design, people are so much involved in HLD only, which is high level design. And that sort of experience and knowledge comes only after you are working in some industry for 5 to 6 years or 3 years. So if you just have an idea about system design, that is enough. But for the domain part, you can go with web development only if there is option between system design and web development. I'm very lazy if I'm reading, switching to play Free Fire. What I can do? Suppose I delete the after 1 to 2 days reinstalling. What can I do? So in that case, I deleted my Instagram also. I used to scroll the reels a lot. So in that situation, I would say that whenever you are feeling lazy, remember that pata chala, next day you are going to give the interview, next day you are going to give the technical assessment, and you are not ready with anything. And because after college, to be honest, you don't have any other option also. After the 12th standard, you had option for JEE NEET. Usme bhi nahi hua, to you had private colleges. But after once you are graduated, you don't have much options rather than writing some GATE exam or CAT exam. That also would be cleared only if you study. So I would say that it is like, think as if it is the last opportunity you are getting to get rich, to get the life you want. Because let's be honest, money is everything which will let you buy. Money is something which brings you happiness. That thought which somebody says that money only doesn't give you all happiness, that is wrong according to me. Money gives you all happiness in today's world. So yes, if you feel lazy, get that thought in your head that I want to be rich, I want BMW or Tesla or something. So go study for it. If you don't study, you will not be able to learn.
Yes, and nowadays many people say that a person should know the use of AI. So is it true that the person who knows the better use of AI than the person who is not that much in the person who hadn't have that much knowledge in the based on some AI tools or anything? So is it true that they will be taking jobs than the person who are more of non-tech and anything?
To be honest, most of us know that people are nowadays cheating a lot to clear the interviews and everything, but still they are not able to clear sometimes. But कभी कभी होता है कि you are giving the test honestly, but your friend is using AI to give the test, and they are getting into the company, but you are not getting into the
Yeah.
company. So I would say that don't follow it, क्योंकि तुम कंपनी में चले तो जाओगे लेकिन कंपनी में काम एआई थोड़ी करेगा. You cannot give the data information about the company to the AI, because if you give those, then the data will get leaked and you will be sued from the company itself. So don't follow that method. It will only help you till the starting phase. After that, you can depend on yourself or your seniors only. And seniors also at one point they will get irritated and tell you that why are you in this company if you don't know anything. So, by the use of AI doesn't mean that you should be able to use it to cheat or something. By the use of AI, it means that it is a trend, and everything in the tech field today is revolving around AI ML. So, you should have knowledge about that. That's why I said that you should be updated with whatever trend is going on. इससे पहले साइबर सिक्योरिटी का बहुत ट्रेंड था, तो पीपल स्टार्टेड डाइविंग इनटू साइबर सिक्योरिटी अ लॉट. अब एवरीथिंग इज रिवॉल्विंग अराउंड एआई एमएल, then the chips and everything which is getting made by nvidia and everything. So you should just stay updated as if it is a general knowledge. So in such a way you should be knowing everything, not much other than this. And by using AI तो वैसे सबको यूज करना आता है, but applying the most suitable prompt only makes your solution better than someone else in terms of AI. And that is the work of a prompt engineer. So that is another thing. So yes, be updated with the current trends. Have GK, be good with the GK. That's all.
Cloud AI backend DevOps. So if you had to bet on this one area for the students like today, so what it will?
So क्लाउड मतलब AWS सबके आगे रिवॉल्व होगा, गूगल क्लाउड कंसोल सबके आगे रिवॉल्व होगा, डेवऑप्स भी क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग के साथ आ जाएगा, बैकएंड सिस्टम इज ऑल अबाउट द रिएक्ट एंड एवरीथिंग. एंड नाउअडेज TypeScript is also trending a lot. So I would say that it is not important which domain you are choosing, but whatever domain you are choosing, make sure that it is not too much old or too much of in past. Make sure that it is used in today's time also, and be strong enough in that only. It's not important that you should know everything, but whatever you know, make sure that it is known well enough, and it is not just as if you are a rattu tota in it. Don't do that. And in short, learn everything, know about everything, but that particular domain alone, be specialized in it. That's all.
And one more question. A friend asked me that can you take us back to the moment you received your Amazon offer letter? What was your reaction and what it did mean to you? It will be a great way to motivate all the students here.
Uh, I actually sat down on the floor itself after I got my offer mail. I was not able to believe it कि मुझे offer mail आ ही गया है. So yes, that was the happiness, and I wish that all of you get the similar happiness one day. And yes, it still feels surreal that I am in Amazon and I am going to be an SD in Central Machine Learning Department. And I would say that these things feels much better when you have really worked hard for it. So please work hard. Don't rely on shortcuts, because shortcuts will help you only for the start, but it will never go till the end. And be very much active. And even when you enter into a company, make sure that you are so much alert, so much attentive, and you are so much knowing that what is going on around you, and always have documentation of everything, and always be someone who uh, always be someone on whom the team relies on. That is the leadership principle which is meant by Amazon. So you should be a person on whom the team should rely on. You should not be someone who depends on everybody else for the solution and everything.
Yes. And one tricky question for you, that why did you only apply for the Amazon? There are many MNC companies. So
No, I didn't apply just for Amazon. I actually got the interview round for Microsoft also, but I didn't go for it since I already got the offer mail from Amazon. And yes, I applied for many other companies over the LinkedIn. I will say that on LinkedIn there is this person called Krishna Kumar. He gives you updated post about the recent job post, internships, and everything. Do follow him; it will help you. And similarly, follow such people who just give you updates about everything in your role and for your role. So yes, I did apply for many companies. It's not easy, and you will also apply for many companies, and at one point you will feel like अब मुझसे नहीं होगा, बहुत apply कर लिया, किसी से कोई reply ही नहीं आ रहा है. And sometimes even this Amazon thing, hackathon happened 2 months back, and I got this mail after 2 months, and it was very much unexpected. My team didn't even go after round one. So yes, if your individual performance is also so much better, then sometimes that company will hire you, want to hire you because your performance was in top.
yeah. One last question. We'll end up this meeting by this question. One short message that do you want to give to every student here that they will remember here after this session?
The short message which I want to give is that if you really wish to give your mom that first gold from your salary and that brand new shirt and everything to your dad, then I would say that please study, because that moment feels like it never came before in your life. And when they feel happy, when you see their faces, that moment is very different. That moment can never be compared to anything else. So if you're not motivated, at least have your parents in mind, and have that life in your head which you have imagined for yourself. Never waste a second, because to be honest, there are many people. बहुत लोग थर्ड और फोर्थ ईयर में ही डीएसए स्टार्ट करेंगे. अभी तुम, if you are starting in first and second year itself, then think how much ahead you are in the competition. So that means if you start working today itself, you will be so much ahead. And अगर उस हिसाब से देखा जाए, then you don't have any competition itself with anyone else, because everybody starts at the end moment. So if you start at today at the starting itself, then you are so much ahead. You will be going so much ahead that nobody can pull you down, and you will be going in MNC companies.
So from the audience side, if you are not having any questions, then we will wrap up this session today. Thank you so much, Amulya, for sharing your own such an honest and real insights. This session was packed with clarity, real checks, and motivation. To everyone attending, remember opportunities don't come to those who wait, but to those who prepare. So make sure to follow CodeNeuraX for much more career-focused sessions, tech discussions, and opportunities. Stay connected, stay curious, and keep growing with us. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. In advance, Happy New Year. Thank you.
Happy New Year to you, ma'am. Happy Christmas.